On behalf of the management, principals, staff and students of Srimati Chandibai Himatmal Mansukhani College, I extend a very warm welcome to all the participating teams, the principals, vice principals and their faculty coordinators to the title presentation of the 20th International Economics Convention. Welcome once again, and I apologize for the delay in starting the title presentation. I request Dr. Sunil Alchandani, convener of the 20th International Economics Convention, to give the concept note.
Ngomong apa? Konsep note. Kan membuka acara. Sambutan.
Thank you, Professor Usha. I'm finding out some technical issue with my camera right now, but I'm unable to open it. Thank you for inviting me for presenting the convention, to present the concept note of the convention. Respected Vice Principal Dr. Vilas Gaikar, HOD of Economics Department Dr. Anuradha, Dr. S.V. Anuradha, faculty coordinators from various teams, as well as all the participating students. I wish you all a very warm welcome to CHM College for the title presentation of 28th International Economics Convention. Now, this International Economics Convention is a flagship research event of Hyderabad Sindh National Collegiate Board, hosted by one of the colleges of the board every year on the rotation basis. It has gained in stature over the years as a unique and prestigious event. Launched in 1993, the Economics Convention year after year brings together some of the best talented academic circles from Mumbai and also from renowned universities abroad. The convention has always focused upon critical economic issues of interest not only to India but also to the economies of the world. Through a conglomeration of thoughts, ideas, and suggestions on the subject under debate, and has really created the attention of the concerned administrators and policymakers. This event, that is International Economics Convention, is one of its first kind, wherein students at undergraduate level get an opportunity to indulge in research and content and analysis. The convention aims at creating the spirit of research among the young learners and gives them the opportunity to demonstrate their research and presentation skills. It's really a great occasion for all the participants to, what we can say is network and explore new ideas and fresh perspectives. Well, apart from it, with our keynote speakers, technical chairpersons, and judges during these 2 days, the convention is always an enriching experience for each one of us. This year in convention, we have 7 Indian teams and 2 international teams. Let's see which team is focusing on which country and as their area of study. Let me present a small video of 50 seconds to you.
Dia akan presentkan 3 menit.
Just a moment. I hope my screen is visible. Professor Usha, is my screen visible, please?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, thank you.
Mana bisa? Lagu mau lihat?
Indonesia apa Indonesia?
Aku benerannya ke Indonesia.
Beneran Amerika.
Okay, so by now we know that we have 7 Indian teams and 2 international teams, one from Indonesia and another one from Bulgaria. from now onwards, all the teams will be referred with their country names. This is just to make the team's identity confidential, especially at the time of judging. So, for instance, now Birla College will be known as Team France. Indonesia team will be known as Team USA because that is their area of study. So, this is how we will be proceeding further. So, finally, I once again welcome all the teams present over here. I wish all the teams the best of luck, and I believe that this 2 days convention is going to be worth attending for each one of us. Thank you. Over to you, Professor Usha.
Thank you so much, Dr. Sunil. Thank you for that very crisp and short concept note, and for making it very clear that hereafter the teams will be known by the countries they will be studying. Do we have Mrs. Ashwini Gokhale with us? No, she hasn't been able to log in. Sunil, do we have madam?
No.
Do we have principal madam yet? No.
No.
Do we have? I don't see Anuradha madam either. Do we have her?
The madam is there. Anuradha madam is there.
Okay, so I request Dr. S.V.L. Anuradha, head of the Department of Economics and advisor for the 20th International Economics Convention, to speak a few words, give her remarks, her views, her opinion, who has had a very long innings in our college and who has been associated with Economic Convention, to speak a few words about the Economic Convention. Yes, madam.
Ngomong apa gimana? Kok yes, madam?
Ngomong Dr. Sunil.
Anu, madam?
Siapa sih tikon?
I don't see her, Sunil.
Oh, bos sih.
So can we proceed further then? Otherwise,
Yes, so then I will request Dr. Vilas Gaikar, Vice Principal of Commerce Faculty and the advisor, he's another advisor of the 20th International Economics Convention, to give his remarks and his opinion, and he has always been associated with Economics Convention right from when he has joined the college. So I request him to give his remarks. Yes, sir, the stage is all yours.
Yeah. Thank you, Usha madam. Actually, first of all, apologies from the host college. Due to some technical problem, our principal and vice principals were not able to connect the Zoom platform. Apart from that, in this COVID-19 pandemic, we faced lots of problems and difficulties. But in spite of that, we are in a position that we are having an international economics convention with two foreign teams. One is from Bulgaria and one is from Indonesia. And all these teams are competing with each other as far as their own area of expertise is concerned, or their own topic has been given as well. So this International Economics Convention is a very strong intellectual activity which has been initiated by the Hyderabad Sindh National Collegiate Board, and the outcomes from this International Economics Convention will be very much fruitful. So on behalf of HSNC Board and Principal of Srimati CHM College, Dr. Manju Lalwani Patel, I welcome all the teams, all the participating teams, including the foreign teams, as well as the faculty coordinators, Vice Principal from MMK College, Professor Mani Iyer sir, or if any other vice principal is there from different colleges as well. So I welcome you all, and I just would like to convey the message from the principal that the convention dates are supposed to be very much fruitful, that you can enjoy this intellectual exercise as well. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Vilas sir. Thank you for your encouraging words. So now the order of presentation will be as follows. We will not waste much time. The first team will be BK Birla College. The second team will be the P.N. Doshi College. The third will be HR College. The fourth team presenting will be University of Economics, Varna, Bulgaria. The fifth team will be Srimati MMK College. The sixth team will be Podar College. The 7th team will be KC College. The 8th team will be Indonesia Open University. And the final team will be RD National College. So if BK Birla is ready, we can have their presentation.
Yes, ma'am.
Sunil sir, may I request you to please give permission to Rohan boy to share the screen, please. Sunil sir.
Chandra Madam, Soham and Omal both have been made as co-host.
But the screen will be shared by Rohan boy. He is the technical assistant.
Again.
May I know the name, please, ma'am?
Okay.
Rohan boy.
Thank you.
Rohan.
Rohan.
Yes, sir.
Rohan, welcome.
Okay. Is that fine?
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you,
so
sir.
much.
Thank you. All the best.
Thank you.
Francis, sir.
Good evening, everyone. On this 28th International Economic Convention, myself, Komal Gajanan Kulamkar,
And myself, Soham Suhash Kulkarni.
we, Team France, presents you Enduring Pathway Towards Oneness, a descriptive study on French migration. France is a country which is well known for its culture, fashion, food, and of course the Eiffel Tower. But apart from being a tourist destination, it has attracted many migrants since years. This could be seen from the country profile. France, having 67 million of population, 12.8% of population is immigrant, whereas in case of India, it is 0.4% out of the total population of 1,367.6 million. The GDP of France is 2.71 trillion and the GDP of India is 2.87 trillion. Now, moving towards the number of immigrants. In France, the number of immigrants is high. It is 8.30 million. The population comes from Algeria, Morocco, and Portugal. Whereas in case of India, the number of immigrants is 5.20 million. They are prominently from the countries like Bangladesh, Pakistan, and Afghanistan. Now, coming towards the number of emigrants. In case of France, the number of immigrants is low, which is 2.50 million. They depart to the countries like Spain, Belgium, and United States. Whereas in case of India, the number of immigrants is high, which is 17.50 million. They depart to the countries like UAE, United States, and Saudi Arabia. This statistics gives us our net migration rate. For France, it is 0.643%, and for India, it is minus 0.383%. Now moving towards our research methodology. Our research is a descriptive research which is based on our secondary data. Our study is limited to time and scope. Now, our research objectives. Our research objectives are to study migration trends in France and to understand the overall effect of migration in French economy, to compare French and Indian migration patterns, and to give appropriate suggestive measures to French economy.
Reasons for migration. The reasons for migration differ from one country to another. When it comes to France, it is employment, education, urbanization, lifestyle migration, desire to change, and security of future. Whereas for India, it is well-being of families, natural calamities, resource scarcity, lack of security, and political disturbance. Moving towards the background of the research problem. The root of the research problem, terror attack of November 2015. After this terrorist attack, the France government imposed strict control on the international borders to avoid the further consequences in the country. Also, the migrants were considered as a potential threat by the European Union. Moving forward towards the context of the research problem, the recent immigrant crisis of October 2020. The recent crime committed by one of the immigrant students in France resulted in tough steps by the French government to ensure a greater control over the migrants. And this can be also reflected by the changes in the policies, as the French government has increased the number of days of qualification for access to medical healthcare in the country. Also, the French government has imposed restrictions on the immigration of the people in the country. This immigrant crisis has led to many social issues, disputes, and internal disparity within the country, which is ultimately affecting the economy of the country as a whole.
So, focusing on the roots and the context of the research problem, we are working on the research Enduring Pathway Towards Oneness, a descriptive study on French migration. Thank you to the technical team and thank you for the opportunity given. From Team France.
Thank you so much, Team France. That was a very crisp presentation. I asked Team College Piandoshi College, if they're ready, we could have their presentation.
Yes, ma'am, we are ready.
Yeah. Do you want to share the screen?
Yes. Please allow Meethi Doshi.
Sunil sir? Sunil sir?
Yeah, Professor Usha, Meethi Joshi has been the co-host.
Okay, fine.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, go ahead.
Thank you. All the best to all of you.
Thank you, sir.
Oops.
A very good afternoon to one and all.
देखा ही नहीं मैंने तो.
Excuse me, can I start?
You would want to take a different route, क्या? Sunil, I think you have to mute everybody. Somebody is unmuted.
Let me just check out that.
Yeah.
Yes, team, you can begin with your presentation.
Sure. Thank you, sir. A very good afternoon to one and all. Myself, Mansi Dumble, and my teammate, Meethi Joshi, are here to present before you Economics of Migration in India. Let us begin with a short introduction. Human migration is the movement of humans from one area to another, sometimes over a long distance, individually or in large groups. Mobility has been an inherent part of human existence since the days of civilization. Right from Harappan and Aryan age to the 20th century, millions of people have been migrating every year. So we can say that India has a vast history of migration. Migration has become a universal phenomenon in recent years. It has been a major source of human survival, adaptation, and growth. Nowadays, millions of people in India move out of their normal place of residence in search of employment in response to the environmental shocks, political conflicts, religious persecution, etc.
Statistics provides bent to critical thinking. Thus, the slide projected on the screen acquaints us with the yearly statistics of external migration from India. In the year 2008, 4.4 million people externally migrated, and by the year 2019, the migrant outflow rose to 5.25 million people. So we can see an abundant rise in the external migration of India. Now let us have a quick review of the statistics on internal migration. During 1971, 5.48 million people migrated internally within India. And by the year 2016, it rose to 9.08 million people. The maximum migrant outflow is from the state of Uttar Pradesh, and the highest inflow is to the state of Maharashtra. Let's have a quick peek through some facts and figures. India receives more remittance from migrants than any other country in the world. It was the top recipient of remittances in the year 2019, which amounted $82.2 billion, with a share of 2.8% in India's GDP. India has the maximum number of migrants living abroad. The top destination country of the migrants is the United States of America. According to 2019 survey, India continues to be the largest country of origin of international migrants, with 17.5 million migrants living abroad. William Lacy Swing, Director
Just make
General
me a
of
co-host.
International Organization for Migration,
me a
quoted that migration is inevitable, necessary, and highly desirable. But during the COVID-19 situation in India, undesirable and unnecessary migration took place as
Because-
millions of people migrated back to their hometowns from different cities. Hence, reverse migration is expected to show up in the census size next year.
Our study will be
Oh,
based on
Suchita.
the following objectives: to study the background of migration in India, to understand the changing trends
Okay.
and patterns of migration occurring in India, to critically analyze the causes of migration in India, to examine, to make a comprehensive study on the social, economic, and cultural impact of migration in India, to examine the government policies on migration in India, to provide innovative and holistic solutions with regard to the existing issues of migration in India.
Is migration a historic phenomenon?
Are the underprivileged migrating more?
Why are the data and statistics on migration so vague and invisible?
Are migration and development interconnected?
Is migration a manifestation in India's economic pattern?
Don't you think migrants deserve a better deal?
Our study dwells to seek answers for such concerns and issues. So here we present to you the title of our research, Insights of Migration Through the Lenses of India. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, P.N. Doshi. It was a very nice presentation. I call upon HR College now. Hope the team is ready.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. And do you all have to make any audio?
Yeah, ma'am. Can you give access to Nisha Jain?
Nisha Jain. Sunil sir?
Lisha, Lisha.
Yeah, to Alisha Jain.
Lisha J.
Lisha, Lisha.
I sent a message to Sunil. Yeah, thank you.
Isha, I hope you're able to share your screen.
Yes, sir.
Should we start?
Yes, Lisha. Yes, please.
Good afternoon, everyone. We are Team Canada, bring you the economics of migration. With me on team are Kushal Govani, Lisha Jain
afternoon,
on the
everyone.
technicals,
Good afternoon.
and me, Tamanna Bagla.
We shall now begin by looking at the couple of established facts. Canada is the second largest country in the world with an estimated population of 37.9 million. Its national motto is Amari Asque ad Mare, which translates to from sea to sea, as it stretches from the Pacific Ocean on the western coast to the Atlantic Ocean on its eastern coast.
What is migration? Migration is the movement of people from one place to another. It can be within a country or between countries. Migration happens for a variety of reasons. These can be economic, social, political, or environmental. Migration is influenced by push and pull factors.
So, what are push and pull factors?
Push factors push people away from their home. War is an example of push factors. Pull factors pull people to a new home. Better healthcare system is an example of pull factors.
There are various reasons because of which Indians migrate to Canada. Academic qualification, lifestyle upliftment, and employment opportunities are some of the reasons. The reason why Indian students prefer to study in Canada has to do with the country's welcoming economic migration gateway. In addition, academic excellence, the focus on skill development, earning while studying, affordability, safe and peaceful life standards, and cultural diversity are the other major contributing reasons which make Canada a preferable academic location for Indian immigrants. In 2019, Canada granted admission to over 4 lakh students, out of which 34.5% were Indians. Canada has consistently ranked amongst the top 10 globally in terms of student performance.
Employment is one of the important reasons why Indians migrate to Canada. As it has relatively low long-term unemployment, the threat of exclusion from the labor market has historically been significantly lower in Canada. The anti-racism strategy and language training adopted by the government of Canada is committed to building a foundation for change by removing barriers and promoting a country where every person has an equal opportunity to succeed. They also run a number of different programs encouraging migrants. Its express entry system offers permanent residency invitation to highly skilled workers. The tech sector is Canada's fastest growing industry. It is rapidly becoming a destination of choice for employers seeking skilled labor. The 2019 International Migration Outlook reports immigration of Indians to the United States to have declined by 7%, while immigration to Canada increased by 30%, due to the challenges faced by Indians as a result of the restriction imposed by former US President Donald Trump. Indians also migrate to Canada for lifestyle upliftment. As per the population review, Canada is one of the top 10 most peaceful and safest countries in the world. Canada's universal healthcare system provides all residents with reasonable access to medical services. Its political system puts adequate focus on hot button issues such as women rights, LGBTQ rights, environmental concerns, and immigration. Canada is also enriched with hundreds of national parks, reserves, historical sites, hiking trails that are the perfect antidote to stress.
Comparison of Canada and India. Canada ranks 39th in the list of countries by population, while India ranks second. Canada's education system follows a practical approach, while the Indian education system follows a theoretical approach. In Canada, the minimum wage rate is $14.25 per hour, whereas in India, the minimum wage rate is $3 per hour. Life expectancy in Canada is 81.95 years, while in India, it is 69.42 years. Per capita GDP of Canada is $442,194, and in India, it is $2,099.
What India could adopt from Canada? Banking system. Canada's banking system has been ranked the world's most stable according to the World Economic Forum. 68% of Canadians go about their day-to-day banking online or through mobile apps. Education. Canada spends more on education per capita than any other industrialized nation in the world and has been named the most educated country in the world. Safety and security. Canada is well known for its gun control policies and relatively peaceful approach to foreign diplomacy. In general, Canada's crime rates are lower and have declined significantly since the 1980s. In addition to these, we in our research paper would concentrate on innovative ideas to reduce the loss of intellectuals from India.
Canada, with its long history of welcoming immigrants and facilitating their integration into the Canadian society, we call our research paper Great White North, the Human Magnet.
Thank you.
Thank you. Congratulations, a good presentation. I now call upon the University of Economics, Varna, Bulgaria, for their presentation.
Hello, could you give me access to share my screen?
Yeah.
I hope you are able to share now.
Can you see my screen now?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. So, good afternoon, everyone. The title of our presentation is Economics of Migration in Bulgaria, a specific model in a small post-communist country in the European Union. So we are the Bulgarian team from University of Economics Varna. Here is a small map of our country in the European Union, which population is around 7 million. And our team and photo of our university, which also has 100 history in our country. So the most specific things that we want to outline in our title is that we have a migration model which is different from the other bigger European countries, and the reason of this is that we are small post-communist country, and also you can see here a historical events which are the periods of our development as a republic since now from 1989 until nowadays. And the reason that our migration model is different from the other countries is because we have been under communistic rule before to become a republic, and also our research is gonna be based only on the last period, which is until nowadays. Also, we wanted to flag that we are part of the European Union since 2007. And here you can see an example of the trends in the external migration from 2010 until 2019, which is going to be our object of study also. And as you can see also here, we have a fluent increase from 2010, which is based mostly on this that young people are going to live abroad because financial statement and other things that are better for them in the West European countries, which are bigger and they have more better rules for living. Also, methods that we are going to use are going to be secondary and primary researches, as you can see here.
So our research objectives are to analyze the changings of the migration, the internal and external migration, to analyze the causes of migration towards the western part of Europe, and if we still have time to analyze with our primary research data the impacts of digitalization and the COVID-19 situation which is going on as in this moment. What is going to be that Bulgaria as a small country in the post-Eastern Bloc it has a very different migrational structure than the Western European countries such as the UK, France, and Germany. And our neighboring small countries have similar migrational models, and we hope that when they join the European Union, they will adopt the same model as ours. Our primary source of data is going to be the secondary from the National Statistics Bureau, the European Union, the UN, and we are also going to make surveys about the COVID-19 and the digitalization impacts.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Team Bulgaria. It was a very nice presentation, and we're looking forward to your final presentation as a post-communist small country model. That is what we'll be looking for, and we hope we'll be able to learn something more about Bulgaria. Thank you. The next team will be Srimati MMK College. If you are ready, you can start presenting.
Yes, ma'am, we are ready. Can you please allow me to share the screen?
Ria,
Yeah.
Okay. Sunil sir.
May I know the name again, please?
Ria Kejriwal.
Ria. Is it Ria? R-I-Y-A?
No, sir, it's R-H-E-A Kejriwal. Ria Kejriwal.
Let me just check out. I'm not able to get your name in the list.
So you can see Team Turkey. I am from Team Turkey. It's mentioned.
It's Ria Kejriwal in bracket Team Turkey.
Yeah, got it. Yeah, Ria, just check it. Just check out whether you are able to share.
Yes, sir.
Turkey.
Hello everyone, we are Team Turkey.
Turkey.
So what is migration? Migration is the movement. Migration is the movement of people, especially workers, between countries. Immigration refers to people entering a country, and emigration refers to people leaving a country. With the average income level 70 times higher in the high income countries than in the low income countries, many people in the developing world feel compelled to try their luck elsewhere. Turkey has been a country of origin, transit, and destination for migrants, as well as it has been a crossroad between Europe and Asia. At the end of 2015, over 2.5 million people sought protection under the borders of Turkey. They were primarily Syrians, Iraqis, and Afghanis. Now I would like Isha to take over the profiling.
Thank you, Priya. When talking about the country profiling of Turkey, two major aspects stand out the most: the geographic and the economic aspects. The geographic profiling includes the size of the country, that is approximately 780,000 square kilometers, the land boundary which it shares with countries like Syria, Iran, Iraq, etc. The natural resources too come under the geographic profiling, which shows that compared to the other Middle Eastern countries, Turkey possesses a large amount of water resources, along with coal mines. Coming to the economic profiling, it includes the GDP of the country, which was as of 2020, $600 billion, the government budget, the inflation rate, which was at 11.94% in 2020. We will cover much more details and aspects with regards to country profiling of Turkey later on. I will ask Preeti to take over to explain the causes of migration with reference to Turkey.
Thank you, Meenakshi. So the causes of migration in Turkey is divided into two parts: internal migration and external migration. Let's first take into consideration the internal migration. The causes of migration of people from a particular place in Turkey is because of aggressive agricultural activities in a climatically unfavorable place, first. And the second is the easy accessibility of transport, especially after the construction of railways, cheap sea transport, etc. This brings me to the next part, which is the external migration. So people have started migrating from all the other parts of the world to Turkey as early as the beginning of 1980s. And the reason behind it was war, economic growth of Turkey, and people finding Turkey as a medium to enter the European countries. The last but not the least part in the external migration is the causes of migration from, Tur- from Turkey, which is due to better job opportunities, family reunification, etc. Now, we request Afia to take over the presentation and give us some more information about the impact.
Thank you, Preeti. Multi-ethnic, multicultural, and multidimensional Turkish society has played an important part in immigration of various ethnic culture. While we were doing our research, we came across two fields which were majorly impacted by immigration. These are social and economical. Social impact mostly comprises of clashes between Turkey and European nations, as well as clashes between native Turks and Syrian refugees. Another key social issue is the abandonment of old people by the Turkish youth. When it comes to economy, the Turkish government has spent a very hefty amount in the for the expenditure of the Syrian refugees, which has left a very negative impact on Turkish economy. Now, I would like Simran to conclude.
In conclusion, both sending and receiving countries can try to encourage circular forms of migration that do not necessarily lead to permanent settlement of migrants in the destination country. Turkey should, for instance, adopt a more legal framework that offers legal immigrants the possibility of free movement between Turkey and the destination country. Turkey should also support all local, national, and international initiatives to build up a secure and prosperous environment. We hope to further dive into this in the next final presentation. Thank you.
Thank you, Team Turkey. which was Srimati MMK College. A very good presentation. I call college Podar College to make their presentation. Is Podar ready? Yes, good evening. Yes.
Ma'am, I would request to make Sharayu Vyavahare the co-host.
Sharayu.
She has raised hand.
Okay. Sunil sir, can you make Sharayu the yeah.
Imagine a landmass totally isolated from the rest of the world, and in fact, used for banishing the convicts. And now, fast forwarded to the current situation, a multilingual, contemporary country with a different outlook altogether. Yes, that is Australia for you. So today, my Satyashri Ved and my teammate Raj Kanaria from Team Australia will be presenting about economics of migration and specifically migration to Australia. As per an estimated number, by 2050, the population of Australia is going to be 38 million. Had it not been for migration, it would have been just 24 million. So I think we all can understand the depth of the title, The Migrant Fuel Economy. Now, this is the overview of our title presentation. Moving on to economics of migration. Economics of migration is the movement of people from one country to another to avail the economic opportunities. There are basically two ideologies to the same. The first one being the neoclassical economics, which is the oldest theoretical framework, and the other one being the new economics of migration, which is a rather recent one. Let's take a look at some of the statistics with respect to global migration. United States hosts the maximum number of international migrants, while Spain has the least. Australia is at the fag end, but the results have rather predicted an increase in the number of international migrants. Now, coming to our country of focus, Australia, the inclusive continent. It is the country which has the highest degree of urbanization and globalization. Now, this is a very contrasting point. As per the land area, it is the sixth largest country in the world, and yet it is the smallest continent. It is a rather dry and a thinly populated country with the masses of population concentrated in the three cities of Sydney, Melbourne, and Canberra. Now, Raj will be briefing us about the economic indicators. Over to you, Raj.
Now, let us have a look at one of the most important aspects about any country which influences people's migration decision, and that is its economic health. As one of the world's most urbanized countries, Australia has edged ahead than many European countries and the US in terms of median wealth and wage rates. The highly developed mixed economy of Australia is ranked 8th in the world with an HDI index of 0.944. The Australian government favors entrepreneurship and is ranked 14th in ease of doing business. The prime attraction, however, is its impressive employment rate of 74.6%. If the Australian economy is so sound and prosperous, who wouldn't want to go there? Elaborating on migration to Australia, there has been a large and continuing wave of migration to the country because of its sound economy and multi-ethnic culture. Through one of the world's best education and healthcare systems, numerous career opportunities, and a high standard of living, Australia welcomes everyone to have a go. We, Team Australia, put forth to study the causes and impacts of migration on Australia, the humanitarian approach of Australia towards refugees, its migration intake of skilled individuals and students, and immigration policies of the Australian government. Let me tell you an interesting fact. One Australian out of every four is an immigrant or is a child of an immigrant. To know more such interesting facts and other outcomes of our research, Let us meet on 17th and 18th of February 2021. Thank you for your silent hearing.
Thank you very much, team, for that. The next team which have to present is KC College. Are you ready?
Oh, yes, ma'am. Please, can you give me the access to share the screen?
Monish.
Yes, ma'am. Monish.
Yes. Sunil sir, can you make Monish the co-host? Yeah, Monish is already the co-host.
Thank you. Guten Tag, everyone. Welcome to the 28th International Economics Convention. This presentation is presented by Karan Surana, Monish Jeswani, and myself, Krishna Akolkar. The theme of this convention is Economics of Migration. According to OECD, the term migrant is a generic term for anyone moving to another country with an intention for staying for a certain period of time, not, in other words, tourists or business visitors. It includes both permanent and temporary migrants with a valid residence permit or visa, asylum seekers, and undocumented migrants who do not belong to any of the other groups. International migration is a distinct legal, political, and social category as people move from one country where they are citizens with the rights and protection that citizenship normally confers to another country where rights and protections of nationality and common identity don't apply, and the cultural and social paradigms are significantly different. The theme of the 28th International Economics Convention, that is, Economics of Migration, is very apt as economies are coming closer via integration, and migration is a topic of debate, discussion, and deliberations world over. At this convention, we are going to have a better understanding of the interface between migration and development of various economies. One of the economies on which we are going to have our research study is Germany. Since the early 2000s, Germany has have had a significant, profound change towards recognizing its status and becoming a country that emphasizes the integration of newcomers and recruitment of skilled labor migrants. A major driver of the increasing inflows of the migrants in Germany is the increasing number of people fleeing from the political and social conflict in Syria. During that year, 35% of the asylum seekers were from Syria. Of the 1.3 million asylum applicants submitted in the whole of European Union, Germany received the lion's share of 36%. Syrians, Iraqis, and Iranians represented the top asylum applicants in that year, a shift from 2015, where Balkan countries, including Albania and Kosovo, also ranked high. We can see from this graph that the asylum seekers have increased at a large extent in the year 2015 and 2016. Now I request Karan to please proceed with the presentation. Thank you.
Thank you, Krishna. Proceeding further, the number of foreigners living in Germany increased from 6.7 million in 2005 to 10.9 million in 2018, accounting for 13% of the German population. Among EU member states, Germany has one of the highest shares of residents whose nationality is non-EU. The influx of human capital is happening at a crucial time for the economy in Germany, where the population is aging and unemployment is at its lowest level since the 1990 reunification of East and West Germany. A tight labor market signals a skill shortage which could pose a threat to the future economic growth. The dearth of qualified workers is already being felt by German businesses. A survey of more than 23,000 companies by the German Chambers of Economics found that nearly half of companies are unable to fill vacancies in the longer term because they cannot find suitable employees. Immigrants make up 9.6% of the population, and 1 in 5 Germans has a migration background. The fact that Germany's migration rate is so high tells half the story though. It is the proportion of foreign specialists in Germany's key industries that really drives home the importance of immigration. A combination of favorable labor market conditions, language programs, and job placement initiatives are helping immigrants and refugees land jobs. Besides, there is a great willingness on the part of companies to invest time and money to accept bureaucratic hurdles and to overcome cultural differences, both because the market makes it necessary and because they see it as an important social contribution. Moving on to the costs. Germany's additional spending on housing and feeding of refugees in the first years will be overtaken by the gains in returns by the additional labor forces in the subsequent years. Moving on to the benefits. By 2021, refugees will contribute more than the cost to the German state through filling labor shortages, paying taxes, and contributing to the economy. The private sector is actively engaged in supporting the integration of refugees and other migrants into the German society and the economy. Germany's strong economy and its relatively welcoming approach towards refugees and immigrants during the peak arrival years of 2015 and 2016 have contributed to the country becoming a magnet for immigrants and asylum seekers. So we have titled our research paper, Germany, a Migrant Magnet. So these are all the references we have used in our presentation. Thank you from KC College and Team Germany.
Thank you.
Thank you, KC College. Next, we call upon our team from Indonesia. We have Indonesia Open University. If they are ready, they can present.
All right, can you hear me well?
Yes, we can hear you.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Apri Rohmanto, together with my teammates Aulia, Putri, Octaviani, and we're the representative of Indonesian Delegates. And here we're going to be the presenters in today's presentation. Our team will conduct a research paper entitled "The Contributions of Migration to the U.S. Economy and Social Life." The reasons why we choose this topic because we want to prove that immigrants, who are seen as the group of bad people by most of the net people, actually contribute fully to the development of the United States. Our paper will explore the issues of immigrant in America throughout American history and how immigrant has assimilated themselves into American life to shape its culture and contribute to its economy. Start from the research paper structures. In the first section, there will be an explanations about a brief history of immigrant in USA, including the American government policy to deal of history. We will focus our study about voluntary migration and not about slavery, which is a form of forced migration. In the second part, we will make the outline of Americans' profile as the most popular destination for the world's immigrants and the biggest economy of the world. Then, in the third part, we will discuss the various causes of migration to the USA, such as economy, politics, and cultural factors. Next, in the fourth part, we will elaborate on the significant economic and social contributions of immigrants to shape America as it is today. And finally, the fifth part will offer conclusion and suggestions based on the findings in the four previous parts. And next, I will give brief explanations in each part of the paper structure. The first one is overview. Like what I've said before, in this part, we will explain a history of immigrant in the US. When we hear the word immigrant in the US, then many associated words come to our mind, especially negative stereotypes such as poor, refugees, uneducated, religious, radical, illegal, and so on. Even in American political stage, the issue about immigrant has always been much debated and controversial. Throughout American history, xenophobic attitude toward immigrant has been held by some American leaders, including during Trump administration. Then we have motion that facts always shows that the fear toward immigrants is unfounded and contrary to the fallacy. We believe that immigrants are an essential component of American economy and social life. Then we move to the next part about the United States profile. As we know that the US has become the biggest immigrant country all over the world. Not only that, but the US also become the world's foremost economic and military power with global interest and an unmatched global reach. It is proven that America's gross domestic product accounts for close to a quarter of the world total, and its military budget is reckoned to be almost as much as the rest of the world's defense spending put together. Besides, the US is also a major source of entertainment such as the American TV, Hollywood films, jazz, blues, rock, and rap music that are primary ingredients in global popular culture. Then please.
Okay, thank you very much, Apri.
Aulia.
Okay, thank you very much. And then, what are the causes of migration to the US? There are several causes. They want to be a better opportunities to find work. The US is still the number one destination for people who are looking to fulfill their dreams. They also need a better living condition, and they want to be with their American spouse or families. And the immigrant want to escape their troubled country, unless they want to get the best education. And the next is the main point that we will emphasize in our research, that is a social and economic impact of migration to the US. So the immigrants have contributions to shape US mainstream culture, such as movie, art, and music. And they are also significant to enrich American English through various accents and intonation. And they also making up 30% of American business and 50% of unicorn. And they are opening job market by contributing a large number of low-skilled and high-skilled workers. They also increasing American GDP or gross domestic product through population growth. And they are contributing to US income from taxation. They also making up 25% of US patented products. And the next is the end of our paper. We will give the conclusions based on our finding and suggestion, such as the positive attitude to immigrants should be disseminated to all US citizens so that the immigrants will live in harmony with the native citizens. And because of the immigrants help shape the current state of US economy and social life, so their contribution should be highly appreciated through government policy and bring their grassroots attitude to welcome them as an integral part of American life.
Right, thank you, Aulia. That's all the presentations of the research design from Indonesian Delegate. I'm Apri Rohmanto and my teammate Aulia Putri. Good evening.
Thank you so much, Team Indonesia. That was a very nice presentation. And finally, we have the National College team. If you're ready, we can have your presentation.
Yes, ma'am. Can you make
For the world to stand in queue.
Frailty. Thy name is woman. Who does not know this famous quote, the Bard of Avon? William Shakespeare was born here.
The concept of departmental store came from here.
The railway network, which connects the whole of India, was constructed by them.
Any guesses? We are talking about which country?
Yes, it's the United Kingdom. Good afternoon to one and all. I'm Lisa Ahmed.
And I'm Chitra Khanolkar.
And we are from Team the United Kingdom.
The country that has seen a sharp growth on the graph of migration. Earlier, as the Roman occupation started to begin, the population of Britain was 4.5 million, out of which 3%, that is 1,25,000, were migrants. After a couple of centuries, 10 to 20,000 of Africans started to migrate to Britain. Jewish people started to return to Britain. And lastly, at the end of the 19th century, At the end of the 19th century, a large wave came from Russia, Eastern Europe, and Nazi Germany, because of which the United Kingdom came to be known as the home for migration. The island, which comprises England, Scotland, Wales, and Northern Ireland.
Let's take a look at the country profile of the United Kingdom. United Kingdom is an island nation which is located in northwestern Europe with a population of about 67.8 million. It is at the sixth rank considering the global economy with a real GDP of about 5.57 US dollars per capita. And lastly, the literacy rate is about 99%.
Queen Elizabeth II is the head of the state, and Sir Boris Johnson is the current Prime Minister of United Kingdom. This constitutional monarchy makes the United Kingdom's political system more unique.
The title we have chosen for our presentation and for our research paper is Journey to the United Kingdom: Opulence, Opportunity, and Ordinance. The logo indicates the effective influence of United Kingdom all over the world that results into the migration of all range of population, whether it is a student to acquire quality education, whether it is a traveler to explore the beautiful country, or an ordinary man to seek better job opportunities.
Why opulence? Because the United Kingdom has made a significant contribution to the world's economy, especially in technology and industry. Its most prominent export has been the culture, including literature, theatre, film, and television. But perhaps the United Kingdom's greatest export has been the English language, now spoken in every part of the country as one of the leading international mediums of cultural and economic exchange. This enhances the country's opulence in the eyes of the public, and as a result of which, it attracts the people from all over the world in the form of migration. Now, why opportunity? Because with the evolving time and cultural diversity, the United Kingdom has proved to be the land of opportunity because of factors such as political factors like conflicts, insecurity, discrimination, and persecution, demographic factors like population density and population structure, economic factors like job opportunities and income, social factors like seeking quality education and family obligation, and lastly, environmental factors like land productivity and exposure to hazard.
The net migration of United Kingdom has brought about a positive impact both socially as well as economically in the form of multicultural society, increasing population, increase in aggregate demand, and overall welfare benefit. It has strengthened the economy in terms of GDP that brought British economy at sixth position considering the global economy. To give you a statistical evidence, according to Office for National Statistics, the net migration in 2020 was around 11 lakhs and 18,000, out of which 7 lakh 15,000 people moved to United Kingdom, whereas 4 lakh 3,000 people left the United Kingdom. Ordinance. Why ordinance has been put in our research title? Because to give you a better knowledge about the Brexit deal. Brexit, which means British exit from European Union. The deal that broke the 47 years of membership from European Union. The referendum was passed on 26th of June 2016, where 51.9% voters opted to leave the European Union. And as a result, Brexit came into force on 1st of February 2020, which led to form a stringent relationship between the two. However, to avoid a no-deal scenario, European Union and United Kingdom Trade and Cooperation Agreement came into force on 1st of January 2021 that has formed two separate markets and will create barriers to trade in goods and services as well. This agreement will definitely bring a lot of changes into the country's economy.
The impact of this action is yet to be seen as the outcomes can only be predicted by the expert. However, by analyzing all the factors, we will be drawing some suggestions in our research paper. Along with this, the points that we will be discussing in our main presentation are the current state of United Kingdom, new point based on migration system that has been introduced by United Kingdom, European Union and United Kingdom Trade and Cooperation Agreement, economic impact and slowdown, and lastly, suggestions.
Hence, to cover the all three aspects, that is opulence, the prosperity of United Kingdom, opportunity, the land of opportunities that gives major attraction to migrants, and lastly, ordinance, that is to give you a better idea about the Brexit deal, we have chosen our title as Journey to the United Kingdom, Opulence, Opportunity, and Ordinance. Thank you and have a good day.
Thank you, National College. So with that, we have finished the title presentation of all 9 colleges. So I thank the colleges. They have maintained the time limit, and you all have sown the seeds of curiosity and interest. And we are looking forward, as the host, looking forward to the 2 main days, which is 17th and 18th of February, when we'll have all the teams presenting and we'll have them interacting, deliberations, questions and answers. We can't just wait. It will be a 2 day event where we will be having a lot of ideas being exchanged. So thank you once again. Do we have... Yes?
Sorry to intervene here. I believe Dr. Anuradha is there with us, as well as Professor Ashwini Gokhale, our Vice Principal, is also there.
Okay, so Principal Madam hasn't been able to join.
I could see...
Good evening, Usha. Yes, okay, madam. Okay, fine. So I will now request our Senior Vice Principal, Mrs. Ashwini Gokhale, who is also the head of the Department of Business Economics, and who is the overall in charge of the International Economics Convention, to give her views. She's been associated with International Economics Convention along with Dr. S.V. Anuradha right from its inception. So they are the most senior-most faculty of the Department of Economics. I ask Ashwini Madam to put forward her views on the International Economic Convention.
Thank you, Professor Usha. Well, with lots of glitches, somehow the technical glitches, somehow I am able to be amongst the different college teams as well as with you all. Respected Dr. Manju Lalwani Pathak, Principal HSNC Boards, Srimati CHM College, and the host of 28th International Economic Convention, Dr. Vilas Gaikar, Vice Principal and Advisor, Dr. Anuradha, Head of the Department, Economics and Advisor, Dr. Sunil Lalsandani, Chief Coordinator and Head of the Department of BMS, Professor Usha Oman, Coordinator of the 28th International Economic Convention, Dr. Ria Nathani, Coordinator of the 20th International Economic Convention, various faculty coordinators from our participating teams of our institutions, dear student participant teams, international teams, Bulgaria, and Indonesia. On behalf of the host college team, under the leadership of Dr. Manju Lalwani Pathak, a very good evening to all of you. It is indeed a proud moment to host the 28th International Economic Convention. I congratulate our principal for hosting and convening today's first phase of the title presentation of the annual International Economics Convention. We had student participants of different participating colleges on one platform. Nevertheless, this time, the virtual platform. The International Economics Convention has been the most awaited annual event for students at the undergrad level. The young researchers are once again gearing up to deliberate on the theme Economics of Migration for 28th Economics Convention. The annual International Convention is designed that enables to enhance the reading, writing, analyzing skills, at the same time recommending solutions and policies on the global economic issues and challenges. Since its inception, the annual international conventions have successfully covered themes related to growth prospects of the emerging economies like India in transition vis-a-vis the developed countries, and the student participants undertake extensive study on the topics that are allotted. Thereby, every year, this is developing their leadership and team skills, interpersonal skills, apart from the pure research analysis with mandatory modalities to be implemented in research paper as well as presentation. It is that opportune time of the year where the fresh students as well as seniors coordinate with their commitment and zeal to learn more with resultant budding junior economists in the making. We are sincerely grateful to the esteemed HSNC board trustees to have initiated the most prestigious research-based convention for the undergraduate students for promoting the research culture among the students. I am one of the most fortunate of the faculty witnessing the inception of the convention in the year 1993 to the subsequent 26 conventions, and thereby guiding, training, and encouraging the students each year to be part of the convention. Well, students and all my dear colleagues and faculty, this will be my last convention to be witnessed as I'm on superannuation from 31st May. So I'm fortunate to have this year's convention, though it is virtual, but however, I'll be enjoying the 2 days of 17th and 18th February with you all. Well, to conclude, once again, we are confident that this year too, as the host college, we are very, very much eager and happy to bring you all together and have this convention, which is going to be very meaningful by exchanging ideas and views, making it much more fruitful than what we thought of. So, once again, after having heard your title presentations, I believe you have won half the war of the final presentation. I wish all the teams at the 28th International Economics Convention best wishes. To conclude, quote Alex Morgan, winning and losing isn't everything. Sometimes the journey is just as important as the outcome. Unquote. Thank you, one and all.
Thank you so much, Ashwini, madam. It was a very nice, brief overview of the journey of economics convention, and we are very happy that you have been very supportive all these years, and we look forward to your, very supportive nature even in this current economics convention. Thank you so much. I now request Dr. S.V. Anuradha, head of the Department of Economics and advisor of the 20th International Economics Convention, to speak a few words about the convention, because she is also been in college, and she has been with this International Economics Convention right from its inception. So, Anuradha, madam, I would like you to speak a few words.
Yeah, thank you, Usha. I'm audible?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Respected Principal Madam, Dr. Manju Lalwani Pathak, Vice Principal.
Madam, you are not audible. Have we lost connection with Anuradha, madam?
The convener of Economic Convention, Dr. Sunil Lalchandani, also head of the department, BMS. Mrs. Usha Umen, the coordinator for Economic Convention. Dr. Ria Nathani, coordinator. And all the teams who have come today for title presentation, a very good afternoon and warm welcome. The International Economic Convention is an annual event conceived by the HSNC board. Every year, the event is hosted by one of the colleges under the board, along with 2 international universities. This year, we have Bulgaria and Indonesia who are participating in the 28th International Economic Convention to be hosted in Srimati Chandibai Himmatmal Mansukhani College. We welcome you. The concept of conducting an economic convention was initiated by Dr. I.G. Patel, former governor of RBI, and it was accepted by HSNC board and implemented by then Principal Dr. Indu Shahani in 1993 under the chairmanship of late Dr. Ram Tarneja, member of HSNC board. The event has been growing year after year. The objective behind such convention is to inculcate the research spirit among the young UG students by focusing on various issues concerning the economies. Such participation also helps the students to develop the life skills like communication skills, team building, problem solving skills, analytical skills, critical thinking skills, and by such participation in the International Economic Convention, the employability of the students also increases. In today's title presentation, I could see the various skills, the confidence level, the communication skills, the methodology of presenting the paper, the structure. It was superb. So the title presentations by the various teams have been very excellent and crisp. With this, I wish best of luck to all my teams for the upcoming International Economic Convention to be held on 17th and 18th February 2021. Thank you.
Thank you so much, madam. Thank you for those very encouraging words and your keen observation on the presentation, and also highlighting the advantages which the students gain from participating in such conventions. Thank you very much. And we have been eagerly waiting for our principal to join us. So now I call upon our very young, enthusiastic, and energetic principal to speak to the gathering. Yes, madam. Please do say a few words.
Dynamic voice. A dynamic principal.
Yeah.
I'm so glad to see all of you. There are so many participants I can see. It's a privilege for Srimati CHM College, the largest college of HSNC board, to host the 28th International Economics Convention. I welcome you all behalf of HSNC board and Srimati CHM family. Each of you, those are present over here, I'm glad to see all, and I appreciate that you took out time to present the title of the convention for this year. A special welcome to two international country participants. Those have joined our group in a very short period. Thank you so much, sir, and welcome again. I welcome all faculty coordinators from various colleges. Those have joined this year economics convention, and their team of the students. I must say, lovely students, very intelligent group of the students from different colleges in India as well as in two foreign countries, universities. University of Economics, Varna, and we have Open University of Indonesia, Ministry of Higher Education and Culture of Indonesia. It is really privilege to see all of you on one platform, and you completed your title presentation wonderfully. All slides were beautifully made in colorful contents, as well as the way students have presented. It was really appreciable. International Economics Convention is known for the quality research at the undergraduate level, wherein students carry out their research work and present their analysis and support of their respective faculty coordinators. It is a one type of the unique opportunity given by HSNC board to the UG students. For principals, it has been a favorite event wherein it gives an opportunity for all the colleges of the board as well as other colleges from Mumbai and even abroad to network and explore the opportunities for partnership in the domain of academics. For 27 years, the convention has been hosted physically in one of the colleges of the board, and we at Srimati CHM College are fortunate enough to host the convention in the virtual mode this year, which is one of the latest trends during this pandemic. I'm in the meeting. During this period, it has given a different opportunity to explore ideas in the academics, because now we are meeting to each other on the virtual platforms. Hosting a conference for 2 days is definitely a challenge, but I am confident enough that we would be able to meet the expectation of the HSNC board and all the participants. I sincerely thanks to the President, Mr. Kishuman Sukhani, and all trustees of the board, Dr. Niranjan Hiranandani, Mr. Anil Harish, Mrs. Maya Shahani, Mr. Chelaram, and the OSD and member of the board, Mrs. Padma Shah, for entrusting such a huge responsibility and also for guiding us from time to time for such convention. Actually, frankly speaking, we have very good experience with the trustees during this lockdown period as we became more closer to the board and all principals because we have been meeting to each other on virtual platform for various topics which is explored by the trustees to discuss time to time. Dear friends, I wish to inform you that it is really privilege to be associated with such great board, HSNC board and their trustees. Those are taking care not professionally but personally also during this lockdown period due to the COVID which we have been facing or we have been moving ahead with this time. Once again, I welcome everyone today at this type of presentation and wish participants. Yes, if I, it will be, I will be failing if I will not give the acknowledge and recognize the work done by the organizing team of Economics Convention this year. As CHM is host, we have with us Senior Vice Principal Mrs. Ashwini Gokhale, who is handling the charge of the overall in charge of Economics Convention. We have with us Dr. S.V.L. Anuradha, who is head of the Department of Economics. Then we have two young male faculty. One is Vice Principal Dr. Vilas Gaikar and one is Dr. Sunil Chandani, who is the convener of the convention. Dr. Vilas Gaikar is from Department of Economics and advisor for the Economics Convention. And finally, the name of Ria Nathani comes, who is the coordinator for this convention. I appreciate the efforts taken by the entire team under the guidance of Mrs. Ashwini Gokhale and the advice of Mrs. Anuradha and Dr. Vilas Gaikar for this convention and entire organizing work done excellently and efficiently by Dr. Sunil Lalchandani and Ria Nathani. Yes, I cannot forget the name of Usha Oman, who is with us, and she was giving lovely connecting words of the all one by one between the title presentation. Usha Oman is from the faculty of Department of Economics, and we have trust in her to anchor this program wonderfully, and I hope everybody has they have done their job as per the expectation. Yes, if I remember this year, except 2 colleges, all other colleges have participated. And if I see the list of the participants, there are 58 participants which I can see. From 58, one is our co-host and technical assistant person, Mr. Dheeraj Rochlani, and all others are the organizing team, teachers coordinators, students, and 2 foreign countries. If I can see the name, I think economic seminar, those have written, I don't know who is this.
Anu madam.
Anu madam, okay. I think Dr. Noor Hayati is with us.
Yes, I'm here. Hello.
Yes. Hello, ma'am. How are you?
I'm fine.
So,
Thank
what
you.
is your experience?
I have a good experience here. Thank you for the chance for us.
So, I think you are from Indonesia, right?
Yes, I'm from Indonesia.
Okay, then we have Amishi, we have Anuradha Iyer, we have Anushka Bhalerao, then we have Aulia, we have Avantika Pathak, then Chitra, Chandra, Dr. Chandra Iyer 2 times. Why 2 times? Then Dr. Hiral Sheth. Then we have Drishti Ben. And Mr. Kriplani is with us. Then we have 3-4 participants from the other countries. Then we have Karishma, Komal, Krishna, Kripa, Lisa, Malti, Maninder, Mansi, Mariam, Meenakshi, Niti, Mitali, Nikhil. Then we have Preeti, Raj, Ria, Rohan, Sapna. So there are so many people. After Sapna, we have Soham, Simran, Tamanna. We have Mani Iyer with us. Hello, Mani.
Hello.
Yasmin. Acha, then we have name written by the foreign country in their own language, some regional language, right, Sunil?
Yeah, we have Dr. Desi Slava, the faculty coordinator of Team Bulgaria. Dr. Desi Slava.
So I hope I have covered all the participants. Again, welcome. Thank you so much. Over to you.
Yes, ma'am. Professor Daisy, we couldn't hear what you were saying because you were on mute. You were saying something to our principal. We couldn't hear.
Sorry, I was muted. So thank you for the invitation. And I think that it's a great opportunity for our students to participate in this convention. And I'm glad to be here. And I think that all of the teams are great. So it will be interesting on the final. Okay. Wish you all the best.
Yeah, thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you so much for participating. So I thank our principal, Dr. Manjulal Mani Pathak. She is very enthusiastic, very supportive, very encouraging, and she is so confident that she will be able to host it online. And those words are very encouraging and gives us the confidence, madam. So you have always been our pillar of strength. And with the stalwarts like Ashwini madam and Anuradha madam and our young vice principal like Vilas Gaikar, I'm sure this year's convention will also be a great success. So as all good things must come to an end, we have come to the final part where I call Dr. Riya Thani to propose the vote of thanks.
Usha, before Ria, I wish to add here that can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
I think everybody, those are sitting here or those are joined this platform with us in the meeting,